35 minutes in that game, which is absolutely insane. Andre, what do you got to say about?
Well, one point on Kyle. Historically, teams actually have done better once Vontae Davis has left. This is coming from a Dolphins fan, so just write that down. But my biggest surprise is, besides the obvious choice, which was the Browns, in my opinion, them finally getting a win. Going to go with the homer pick, the Dolphins. And yes, they haven't played anybody. I know.
Today on Hitting the Field, we'll go over what happened with UCF Sports over the past weekend. And later we'll dive into what's happening today all over the sports world. And we'll preview what's to come in the second half of this Hitting the Field season.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated chance, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back, okay? Always locked in, now I don't got time to lax. Saying he the best, he could take a lap. Batted 1,000 when you check the stats. Boy, is you ready? You ain't gotta ask.
Welcome to Hitting the Field. I'm Jessica Herman, and I'm joined today by HTF sweetheart Jeremy Brener, a.k.a. Jer Bear. How are you today?
I'm not the original Jerry Bear. Let's get that straight first. Jeremy Taché is the original Jerry
Oh,
Bear.
my apologies.
But I'm more than happy to, continue the legacy.
Love to hear it. Well, all right. Well, we're leading off today's show with UCF baseball. Over the weekend, the Knights faced nationally ranked Auburn in a 3-game series. Auburn took game 1 on Friday, and UCF evened up the series on Saturday, setting up a rubber match on Sunday. Yesterday's game was flooded with offense as Auburn won 13-9. Jeremy, how do you feel about this UCF team so far?
Offense was a problem to begin the season, and even up until Friday, it was kind of a problem. But on Saturday and Sunday, the offense came through. Dallas Beaver had 2 home runs yesterday. Did you know that he is actually not a Beaver?
He's not.
Believe it or not, he's not a Beaver.
I had no
idea.
idea.
It's just his name, I promise. But one person that I want to keep an eye out for this entire season, it's not Matthew Mike, although it is his year. It's Ray Alejo. Ray Alejo, the junior shortstop. He is, taking the leadoff position this year. It's his 2nd year in the leadoff spot, and he's going to, be able to really take off this year. I think we're going to have a huge year from Alejo, possibly in the AAC, first team here as shortstop. He's a guy that can hit for contact and get for power. He's a guy that, he could do a whole lot of damage for the Knights offense this season. And I feel like if Alejo's strong, it brings a lot of energy to the rest of the team.
Right.
Beaver, Osick, Micah in the lineup down below.
Alejo had a home run yesterday as well, right?
He did, yeah. So I think Alejo is a huge part of the team's success. They're about be the tree. I think Alejo is the perfect oak for this team.
Well, tell me more about that, be the tree.
Yeah, that's their motto this year, be the tree, and it's gotten a lot of, buzz from everyone here in the studio and from the team as well.
We have mixed reviews on how we feel about it.
Are you an oak? Are you a palm? Are you an apple tree? I like apple trees.
Like
Johnny
apple
Appleseed, that dude's the real deal. He is apples and everything.
It's not all about goals. Apples are just as important
Granny
too.
Smith, yeah, golden, yeah.
I like
I'm all
that.
about apples, you know.
Well, another team that scored a plenty yesterday was the men's basketball team. The Knights could do no wrong as they started out the game 16-0 and never looked back. UCF took the contest 95-48 in a statement-making victory for the Knights. UCF now sits with 20 wins and has just 4 more games before the AAC tournament. Jeremy, what does yesterday's win mean for those Knights?
I think it's a huge win. You know, the big part about this team this year that has, you know, given the team reservations is the offense. And we saw that lack of offense on Thursday when they played Cincinnati. They only scored 18 points in the first half, and they only scored 50 points in the entire game. They almost eclipsed that total in just the first half yesterday.
Right.
And they were able to, you know, score in many different ways. Taco Fall was as dominant as we've seen him in a Knights
game
uniform.
of his career.
Game of his career, 20-20. I don't think we've had, I think it's been 17, 18 years since a UCF player's had 20 rebounds in a game.
It says 2001. It says 23 points career high, 20 rebounds, and it's the first player in program history to record a 20-20 game in the Division I era.
I mean, we can't expect that from Taco every day. But I think, you know, knowing that we had that game yesterday, it's going to give them the confidence, you know, to get this last part in the season. And I think this team is locked in. I think that's something that we saw yesterday. They have 4 very tough games to end the season, though. They have at USF on Wednesday. Then they go at Houston on Saturday, college game day. And then we have Cincinnati at home, senior night for BJ Taylor and Taco and for Chad. And then we have at Temple to end the season. And Temple's no joke either, because they are the only team to beat Houston, who is probably one of the top 5 or 6 teams in the country this year. So UCF could go 0-4 throughout this last stretch of games. I really hope that's not the case. I think, though, they definitely did themselves a favor yesterday by beating SMU and the way they did. I think look,
it was off fast.
You can win a game by, you know, like 10 or something like that, but that's not going to get people's attention. 47 points is definitely going to put some eyeballs on UCF and down here in Orlando, because that is what's going to keep the team going. SMU, though, the one team that they've beaten all year, that is going to be really important, that's possibly a tournament team, is Georgetown.
We'll have to look out for that one.
SMU is not the kind of win that you're like, oh, wow.
We'll get there. The men's team's going to do
yeah.
great with these last 4 games, but the men's team was not only the basketball team that won over the weekend. The women's team also tacked on a victory on Saturday over the Temple Owls. With just 2 games before the conference tournament, the Knights are projected to make it to March Madness for the first time since 2011. Jeremy, what has this team done to get where they're at?
They are resilient. That's what KK Wright uses. That's one of the words KK Wright uses to describe them. KK Wright has been incredible this year. I'm just going to say, KK Wright has brought this program to heights it's never experienced before.
She's incredible. She just had 24 points in her last game and hit 1,000.
1,000 in just her junior year.
Yeah, she hit 1,000 points for UCF,
yeah.
and she had no idea. She said in her interview that she didn't even know that she was that close, and then once her teammates were hyping her up, it was like, oh snap, I'm almost at 1,000, and she hit it.
Yeah, and I honestly think that the women's team is more exciting than the men's team. I know they don't, you know, they're not super flashy, they don't hit a lot of threes, but they're just so fun to watch. They love playing with each other.
They're 22-5 overall, and then 11-3 in AAC play. So it's like this team is off to March.
They have chances to make it in March. Yes, I think they can win 1 game in March. I don't know if they can win 2, but I definitely think they could make it to the round of 32 in the tournament.
So you say KK. Is there anybody else that you think can help her out? Is she the main
Nyala
point?
Schuler is a senior, brings the veteran experience. I also think that you can get a lot from, you know, L'Oreal Wright had a good game on Saturday, and you know, it's not just KK. The team is going to have to rally around her, and I think that, you know, with KK's leadership, the team can go, you know, they can win a game in March.
Right.
And they can win a game, you know, make it to the second round. And I don't know if they can make it past the second round because of the way women's basketball is in
we'll see,
the NCAA,
though.
But you know, I hope they can.
Best of luck to our women's team. Yeah. Well, other than that, the Orlando Apollos were back at Spectrum Stadium Saturday night. Orlando picked up its 3rd win in just as many weeks with a 21-17 win over the Memphis Express. Garrett Gilbert led the way with a rushing TD and a passing TD. Jeremy, can the Apollos keep up with the successful pace that they're at?
You know, I think we're setting ourselves up for a real nice 3-part series with the Apollos and the Iron. Iron are 3-0, the Apollos are 3-0. Both of them are in the Eastern Conference. They are slated to make it to the playoffs, both of them, and so that's why they're going to meet for a 3rd time in potentially the playoffs. So I think that is the one team to keep your eye on, is the Iron, because they have probably one of the better defenses in the league, and they beat Atlanta yesterday. They are the team to watch out for the Apollos. I think that it's kind of interesting. It's the Apollos offense versus the Iron defense. which one's going to reign supreme, and they're going to have 3 chances to find out. Whoever wins that 3rd game, though, is the team that's going to make it to the championship.
I've just always been taught growing up with sports, defense wins games, so it's definitely going to be...
Offense wins games, defense wins championships. Hopefully this situation will be a little different.
We're excited to see what the Apollos decide to do with that game. Granted, what was it? Hall, former NFL receiver.
Randall Hall, UCF.
Isn't he having...
Built by UCF.
Was it UCF?
Yeah.
Wow. Excuse me on that one.
Coming home.
Well, we love to see them playing at the home field, and I just know that we're ready to take it all the way, even though with this new league.
Absolutely.
All right. Well,
I've been Apollos fan since the beginning.
Look at this guy. Well, that's all the time we have for this segment. Stay tuned as we introduce a new segment with Hitting the Field veteran Anthony Abruzzo and Hitting the Field rookie Jonathan Anderson.
Hi, I'm Dave Jeffrey, attorney at law. Has your favorite team ever left you feeling sad, disappointed, or even a little angry? Don't you feel like you should be compensated for it? Just take a look at these real testimonials from my real clients. After Tyrod Taylor led the Bills to the playoffs for the first time in 17 years, I was the happiest I'd ever been. And then the Bills traded him, and I wanted to die. But thanks to Dave, I found my will to live again. Yo, Kevin Durant's a bitch. When he said his mom was the MVP, I was so pissed. He put up 30 a game, not her. Same time, I knew my boy Dave would be able to get me some quick cash. Thanks, Dave Jeffrey. I've helped millions of people, and chances are I might be able to help you too.
I hate David Jeffries. My whole family died in a car crash, but he gave all my money away to a Saints fan because of some blown pass interference call. Thanks, Dav.
Aren't you mad when KD went to the Warriors?
Nah, that's pretty chill. Give me a call at 888-888-888, crying emoji, and I can fix your sports misery too.
Please call the number on your screen today if you are experiencing any grief, sadness, or even if another fan has hurt your feelings. All you have to do is provide your credit card number, the 3 silly digits on the back, and the expiration month and year. This is not a scam. Derp-de-derp.
Yo, guys, I can't even imagine what it's like to be a Saints fan right now.
Dude,
I'd be so
guys,
mad.
I can't believe that ridiculous no call.
Bro, I'm puzzled. If they would have made that call, who do you think would have been in the Super Bowl? The Saints would have been in the Super Bowl. Come on now.
The refs, they need to be punished.
Oh, hey guys. Did you see my missed call last week? Could have sent that team to the championship. I guess not.
I can't take this anymore.
What's up with this guy? Welcome back to Hitting the Field. Joining me now to talk about some of the biggest topics in sports today is Hitting the Field vet Anthony Abruzzo and rookie Jonathan Anderson. Jonathan, how does it feel to make your debut today?
I feel blessed to have this opportunity.
Love to hear it. Well, let's get right into it. UNC and Duke continued their rivalry this past Wednesday where the Tar Heels went on to defeat the Blue Devils on the road. But that wasn't the biggest story of the game. Standout freshman Zion Williamson suffered a knee sprain on the very first play of the game, while his shoe exploded at the same time. Zion would not return to the game and missed this past weekend's game against Syracuse. He's listed as day-to-day to return, but should he return is the real question. And I'm going to start with you on this conversation.
So Zion is going to play, but he should consider not playing. He's got too much on the line for him to consider playing for the rest of the season. I know fans want to see him play and they want to see him in the NCAA tournament. That's all fine, well, dandy, but he's got his own future to look at. Just like us, we all have our own futures to look at for whatever career that we're heading to. So Zion has to do that as well. He's got a chance to make a ton of money in the NBA, and he's got a chance to be arguably one of the greatest players that we've ever seen. So I don't think he should risk playing the rest of this season to sacrifice what he could potentially be.
Jonathan.
I think he should not play. You know, by him continuing to play, it's going to hurt his draft stock. You know, I heard that he was going to get drafted #1 overall, but if he continues to play, it's going to hurt his draft stock. It's going to hurt him potentially.
Are you nervous for him?
Yeah. I can understand his passion and stuff.
Right, so he is going to get drafted #1. So
100%
it's not if he continues playing, it's not going to hurt his draft stock unless he gets hurt. Now, if he gets hurt, then that's going to hurt his draft stock.
See, I have very mixed opinions about this situation because, one, I understand, yes, he's going to go number 1. So it's like you saw all the tweets by all the NBA players. Yeah. Hey, none of the, like, $3,000 tickets for that game, and none of the players are receiving
ridiculous.
it.
Whoever
and
would
stuff
pay
like
$3,000 to go to a college basketball game, what is wrong with you?
Let me just say, I wish I had your paycheck. But anyways, I do feel that I understand why everyone's saying, hey, he should not play. But then I totally see why he should play because he's going to school solely based off his talent.
Right. I mean, as a fan, you want to see him play.
Of course you do.
But, like, you have to also look out for his future. So, like, if he'd made that decision to, like, not play, I wouldn't be mad at him at all. I really wouldn't.
I guess my rebuttal is so you got to prepare for your future. I mean, like, there's always a process. School's part of his future, too. I'm just playing devil's advocate, you know what I mean? School's a part of the process, in my opinion. So it's like we knew he was going there to play. So all of us saying, hey, don't play anymore, it's kind of like saying, well, what the heck was the point?
Got to put your health first.
You got to put your health first. But then, like, the NBA right now is also trying to make a rule about you know, like trying to reduce the draft age from 19 to 18.
Well, they did. They lowered it, correct?
No, not yet. They're
thinking about doing. Okay, okay.
It would be a good idea. Yeah, it would be a good idea to do that. So, what are your thoughts on that, Jonathan?
So,
that's what I want to know.
From what I'm hearing, it's all about like money, his potential. But I think he should put his health first. You know, put your body out there first. Not everybody's going to recognize your body like you. So for him to not play. It's a good decision, good choice, very wise, you know?
I wonder, well, it's day-to-day for him, correct? So we're going to find out if he's going to return, and I'm assuming he's going to return.
This week, but he should consider not to.
I wonder if he's going to tweet anything saying whether or not he would like to return. I know he's under agreement and stuff like that, so you're on a short leash with what you can say, but...
He wants to return, but he should...
Of course he does.
It's his decision at the end of the day.
Right, absolutely.
So I guess we'll find out this weekend, but... Anyways, in the NFL, with the drama that continued to build up between the Steelers organization and star wideout Antonio Brown, both sides have come to terms that it's time for AB to get a fresh start. Jonathan, where do you think is the best fit for AB, and where does he end up?
I feel like he should be like LeBron James, take his talents down to San Fran, go to the 49ers.
Why do you think he should go to the 49ers?
First, you bring back Jimmy G. You know, he's coming off with an injury, and he's a great quarterback. We've seen that the season when he got traded to the 49ers, how he was putting up mad numbers. So with him, AB, that's heaven made right there.
So it sounds like that's his all-star team. What about you, Ant?
So San Francisco's a good choice. I think there's 3 teams for AB. San Francisco's one of them. I say the Packers. Imagine if Antonio Brown, he's a bad man on that football field, going with that bad man and Aaron Rodgers. Are you kidding me? That'd be a really great pairing. But there's another team. The Indianapolis Colts would make so much sense. Okay, with Andrew Luck, they need another weapon. They have a ton of cap spaces off season. You know, the Steelers, they want to get as much as they could get, and the Indianapolis Colts have a late first-round pick they could offer. It's not in the same division, so that would be a really good fit for Antonio Brown. And let's not forget, there's also another Steeler that's going to be on the loose, and that's Le'Veon Bell. So imagine if Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell both went to Indianapolis.
So do you think let me ask you this: why do you think he will be a good fit for the Packers?
He'd be a good fit for Packers. The Packers could use another receiver. Aaron Rodgers could use another weapon like Antonio Brown. Has Aaron Rodgers had a weapon like that before? Maybe maybe Randall Cobb a little bit,
Jordy
but maybe
Nelson.
Jordy Nelson. But Jordy Nelson's not as good as Antonio Brown. Let's be real. Devontae Adams as well. Devontae Adams is a really good receiver, but he's not on the level of AB.
But can you say compare Jordy Nelson in the playoffs to AB in the playoffs? Like I think Jordy Nelson was a better receiver than AB because Jordy Nelson gave his all. I felt like AB was just like a quitter.
You think he was a quitter? Why would you say he's a quitter?
Because he wants the ball in his hands. And the fact that, he's putting up mad numbers in the regular season, he's ghost in the postseason. Come on now.
You think he's a ghost in the postseason?
So, would you rather someone do well in postseason or during the season?
I want somebody, to give his all in the all season.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of Le'Veon Bell, I mentioned AB to the Packers. I think Le'Veon Bell would actually be better if the Packers had to go for somebody. Would be Le'Veon Bell. Imagine Aaron Rodgers having a running back like Le'Veon Bell. When was the last time he's had a really good running back? He hasn't.
I'm gonna say Ty Montgomery.
Yep. No, he's not as good as Le'Veon Bell. Come on now.
I
whoa,
mean,
whoa, wait a minute now. Hold up a minute.
Now,
whoa.
Now, Le'Veon Bell, to me, if you want to ask, he's a quitter also.
What?
We
He's a quitter.
We did have a huge segment on that last season. What's your comment on that? Obviously, you feel some type of way, Ant.
He's not. What? I'm shook. I'm sorry. I'm shook. What?
Well, obviously, Ant does not agree with that. Jonathan
I don't
with
agree
the hot
with that.
takes. Jonathan, why do you think he's a quitter? Give me one bold statement. If you had to stir Ant's opinion the other way, why is he a quitter?
It's not
Look
gonna happen,
up,
but go
look
for
up
it.
the playoff game against the Patriots. You know, he was putting up mad numbers in the regular season. What happened?
He got hurt. He got hurt. Are you kidding? He got hurt.
Yeah.
What are you kidding me? Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
All right,
move
before
on.
people whip out the boxing gloves, I will turn into my official referee title and end this segment. So anyways, baseball is back. Spring training is underway, but we had the biggest contract signed in the offseason last week. Manny Machado signed a 10-year, $300 million contract with the San Diego Padres. And what do you think of this deal, and what do you think this means for Bryce Harper?
So I'm all about players getting their money. So, and Manny Machado got the bag. But for the MLB,
Got more than a bag, got the bank.
Yeah, for the MLB to give these players 10-year contracts, it just doesn't work. I don't remember how old Manny Machado is, but by the time he's done with that contract, he's going to be in like his late 30s. He's 26, so he's going to be 36 by the time his contract is up. He's not going to be worth $30 million a year at the age of 35 to 36. It can't happen. I'll give you an example of a bad contract. How about Albert Pujols? Right? 10 years, $240 million. He's got 2 years left on his deal. He's a shell of himself of what he was from the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, Albert Pujols hasn't really done much for the Angels. When's the last time they won a playoff game? I don't think they've won one playoff game since Albert Pujols got there. They've been to the playoffs twice, but I don't even think they've won a playoff game. And another contract. How about Alex Rodriguez and all the steroid drama and stuff? They won one World Series, but guess what? They're the New York freaking Yankees, right? So they're the premier franchise in the Major League Baseball. They want more than just one ring. So 10-year contracts just simply don't work in the MLB, and they need to change that. I'm sorry.
Jonathan, do you agree or disagree with that?
Both. You know, I could identify so many pros and cons with this, but I think with Machado signing that 10 years, of course you got to get that bag. You know, you got to feed your family at the end of the day. But
it's all about the family.
What if he gets hurt? Is that money guaranteed or what?
It is all guaranteed. It's all guaranteed, and he's got to opt out after the 5th year.
So what if you want to get more players? That's like, what about the cap space?
That's what I'm saying. Why it's not a great idea to give players 10 years contracts.
Yeah, that's.
Because what if he becomes a shell of himself at year 7? You can't move that contract. Nobody wants that contract.
And if like you got some players that will sign a big contract, but at the end of the day, once they sign that big contract, are they going to live up to their potential?
Yeah. Let's move on. Let's move on to Bryce Harper real quick because that was part of the question.
Yeah.
I think Bryce Harper needed to see Manny Machado get his 10-year deal. He will also get a 10-year deal. He'll probably end up going to the Philadelphia Phillies.
Nah, I got him going to the Dodgers.
Give me a reason why.
Him, Matt Kemp, and you got Puig. Come on now.
Wait, Yasiel Puig? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
He got traded to the Cincinnati Reds, though.
Hey, they got Matt Kemp.
I mean,
did Kemp go to the Reds?
Kemp going to the Reds, too.
Okay.
But, all right, so the Dodgers, right, they made it to the World Series, right? So I get to see where you're coming from in that. But I think the Philadelphia Phillies, they rebuilt their team this offseason, and they need that one last piece. Now, do I think Bryce Harper? Well, right, but like, do the Phillies? They need that one last piece. Bryce Harper would be a great fit for that team.
I don't think so.
That's right. You don't.
Why? Give me a reason why you don't think.
With Bryce Harper going to the Phillies, right? Now, you got so many teams in that division. Do you honestly think with Bryce Harper going to the Phillies, you think they're going to the World Series?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to say they're going to go to World Series year 1, but I do think they're one of the best teams in the NL East. For sure. Definitely.
So
they won their division last year.
Well, off season, we've seen a lot of things happen, and more trades are going to happen. More cap space is going to be released, and We're going to see crazy trades, so I'm sure we'll get our baseball expert Jarrett on segment eventually soon so you can get the pro response. And everyone's laughing in the background saying, absolutely not the pro in here. But anyways, so we started this segment with basketball, and we're going to end this segment with basketball.
Yeah.
The NBA playoff race is heating up, especially for the 8th seed in each conference. Guys, who do you think is going to get that last spot before the playoffs? Jonathan, why don't you start off for us, please?
With the East, I could say Charlotte Hornets. You know, I see the Magic balling out this season, but at the end of the day, I don't think the Magic has the chance to, like, pull it through. So I think the Hornets will do it. And over there on the West, this might come as a shocker, but I don't see the Lakers making it this year.
Why?
Why? Because...
That's a hot take, so you're going to get a question why on that.
Why? Because, okay, yeah, LeBron is the best player in the world, but you got to look at the supporting cast. Is Lonzo Ball going to produce like he did before he got hurt?
Okay.
Is Brandon Ingram going to be that guy, that wingman? What about Kyle Kuzma?
So in your opinion, you don't think so? You don't think anybody's going to step up to the plate?
No. The defense is terrible, but the offense is good.
I'm nervous. I feel like we're about to have a brawl because I know Anthony's going to come, so bring it to me.
So, all right, so for the Lakers, I think they're going to get to the 8th seed. Here's why. Do you think LeBron's going to let that team not make the playoffs? The answer is no, they're not. He's not going to allow that team to miss the playoffs. Before they got hurt, where were they at? They were at the 4th seed. What did they do on Christmas Day? They absolutely waxed the Golden State Warriors.
That's regular season.
I don't care what it is. We're in the regular season right now. We're talking about the regular season. So the Lakers will get to the playoffs. They will get to that 8th spot. Will they make it past the first round? If they go against the Warriors? No.
They will get smacked.
Oh, they'll get a game or two.
This ain't the first time LeBron got swept.
First time he got swept when?
2007 in the finals against San Antonio.
Okay, moving on. So
and what about last year against Golden State in the finals?
So, but that doesn't mean anything. We're just talking about who's making the playoffs. We're not talking about what happened in the finals last year or what happened in the finals in 2007.
I got Clippers got the 8th seed in the West.
You got the Clippers?
Yeah.
The Clippers.
Yeah.
After they traded Tobias Harris, you got the Clippers.
They still got talent.
Okay, I think if the Lakers don't make the playoffs, it's going to be the Sacramento Kings after that Harrison Barnes trade. So I'll move on. Let me move on to the East. Let's move on to the East. You mentioned the Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah.
I think they do get to the playoffs, but as a 7th seed. You know who gets in as the 8th seed? The Orlando Magic. How great would that be for the city of Orlando? And I know you're laughing. If the Magic got in. Vucevic is balling this year. You got Aaron Gordon is doing better. Jonathan Isaac's playing really well. You know, Terrence Ross has been killing it coming off the bench. He's been providing that perimeter shooting, good defense. So,
you know, the Magic has a history of balling out in the first half of the regular season. Then they choke.
But you also have, they choke.
Yeah, they choke in the second half.
It always got to change one time, man. Right? It's got to change eventually. It's going to change this year. Magic get into the playoffs this year.
Hot take, you heard it here first. Ant says Magic. Is that?
I think so. My 8 seeds, Magic get in as the 8th seed, and the Lakers get in the West.
And what are your 2 teams again?
My 8 seed, Clippers got the 8 in the West, and
That's
over there in the East is the Charlotte Hornets.
That is disrespectful, but okay. I respect that answer.
Love to see it. Well, that's all the time we have for this segment, but when we return, we have some exciting news to tell you. You're not going to want to miss it.
Good morning, fellas, except for Andre.
KG in the building.
James Harden is a stat man.
That is not, you're right.
It's the best score.
He has 120 straight points. Bro, 120 straight points now. All right, let's do this. Let's get down to business, guys.
You still got Aaron Gordon, PJ Tucker, and them boys. Come on now.
What about
Tom Brady gets the sun.
Facts.
I think it's kind of special, though.
What? What are you talking about, man? Crazy, man. Don't ever say that. This is your dad. What are you talking about?
Back to Hitting the Field. For the 3rd year in a row, Hitting the Field will be having an NFL draft show, and this year we're going to try to make things a little different. Although we will still be going over almost every pick in the first round, this year we plan on making the show more open and personal when it comes to breaking down each draft pick. We're going to be putting in a lot of work, and we promise it's something that you won't want to miss out on. Our show will start at 8 p.m. on April 25th, so make sure you mark your calendars. Also, in a couple of weeks, we will debut a March Madness show where we will go over the 68 teams that are ready to dance in March. The shows will be 45 minutes, and there will be a special guest host. Who might that be? I don't know. I guess you're going to have to find out. We hope to see you there. Thanks for tuning in with us today. Make sure you guys follow us and keep up with us on Twitter and Instagram. And check out our YouTube page for past episodes and other quality content. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. We're looking forward to everything. Thanks again.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated champs, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back. Okay, always locked in, I don't got time to lax. Saying he the best, he could take a lap.